Welcome to the Insomnia Project. Sit back, relax, and listen as we have a conversation about the mundane. One thing we try to deliver is a conversation that will be less than fascinating so that you can feel free to just sort of drift off. So at this point, I'll put in a little warning. Please do not operate heavy machinery like the truck that you just heard drive by while you're listening to the Insomnia Project, as we don't want you to drift off while you're driving a car or operating a tractor, using a bulldozer or whatnot. But I do want to thank you for joining us. We hope you will listen and sleep. I'm your host, Marco Timpano.
And I'm your co-host, Nidhi Khanna. Marco, somebody lovely out there in our listenership, if we can call it that.
In the sphere of Insomnia Project.
Exactly. Was kind enough to nominate us for a Canadian Comedy Award in the category of Best Audio.
Best Audio Show or Series.
So whoever that was, it was an anonymous nomination.
It wasn't me, even though I have won a Canadian Comedy Award in the past.
Well, it wasn't me either.
So it was a lovely surprise.
Yes. So we just wanted to take a moment to thank our lovely nominator and encourage our fans of the Insomnia Project to go online and
vote for us, because they're going to narrow it down to 5 nominees in each category. So if you go to www.canadiancomedyawards.org and you scroll down or pull the little drop screen to the last category, which is Best Audio Show or Series, you will see us listed as, actually it's listed as the Insomnia Show, and that's how I know you didn't do it, because I'm like, Nidhi wouldn't have misnamed our podcast in a category. You're very meticulous.
I'm very meticulous about branding.
And so I had to click on the link to ensure that it was our podcast that was nominated and not some other podcast. So please, we invite you to go click on it, vote, and who knows, we might end up one of the top 5.
Well, and if we do that, we will maybe we will have to do a podcast with our fellow nominees.
And you know, it's interesting that you should say that, Nidhi, because Nug, his podcast Illusionoid is nominated as well. Do you remember we did a podcast? It's actually a show on Sirius Satellite, and it is also a podcast, The Humble and Fred Show.
Oh, yes, of course.
They're also nominated. So we were on their show talking about our podcast years ago.
Yes. Well, look at that. So it's a small world in the Best Audio Show or Series category. But thank you once again to our lovely fans out there. And thank you, of course, to Nectarine Goth, who on Twitter suggested we check out the swing line stapler from a previous episode.
That's
because
right.
If some of you may recall, Marco, there he goes, stapling away, has a particular, I don't know, do you want to call it, it's not an affection for staplers, but a particular...
well, it's kind of like a need for a good stapler, you know?
Right. And so the swing line stapler was suggested to us.
And of course, we listen to our listeners.
We do. And so, Marco, I see that you've picked up a very bright blue, an aqua blue swing line stapler.
So, Nidhi, here's the thing. I went to one of these office supply stores, and I'm like, I'm going to go look for a swing line stapler because it was recommended by one of our listeners. And there is a great deal of swing line staplers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it ranges from, let's say, the $9 mark to the $47 mark.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's quite a range. And the swing line stapler is known for their red stapler, which I didn't know. But once you see it, you're like, oh, yeah, that stapler.
It's like the Louboutin of staplers.
Kind of, I guess.
Well, then.
So I was like, do I buy the red one? Because that's the one. But it was a little bit pricier because it's a metal stapler, right? That one's, the whole stapler casing is made out of hard, heavy metal.
Oh.
And I feel like you have to actually have the stapler on a table or a hard surface to staple. You know what I'm saying? It's not one you can do easily in your hands.
Gotcha. And I see a photo of it right here, and I understand what you mean. It's not, there's no grip on it. It's right. It's kind of old school. I like it. It's like a retro stapler.
Yeah, you know what? It kind of looks like the stapler your grandfather would have on his oak desk, or that your, I shouldn't just say your grandfather, your grandmother would have in her, area where she would do accounting and whatnot. Not to be, gender bias, but it just looks like one of those old school staplers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so it was a tough decision. I will be honest with you. I kind of oscillated between three, and I was kind of like, do I buy the classic red? Do I buy the one that staples, through many different pages and that has a secure grip or whatever it was advertising?
Before you go on, Marco.
Yes.
I just need to say one thing.
Please.
Because I don't know if you know this fun fact. But do you remember the movie Office Space? It was like old school Jennifer Aniston. It was like
now you lost me at Jennifer Aniston.
Four guys, pre-Friends, all of that.
Leprechaun? No, I think she was in a horror film called Leprechaun.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Interesting. It was like four guys.
She was in Leprechaun 2. It was even
so it's even more rancid.
Yeah.
So there were like four guys. They hate their jobs, and they go and they try and like defraud the company of money by through like some sort of accounting rounding era, and they end up with like millions of dollars. And this was like pre Wall Street collapse, so it was pre all those crazy things. But it was kind of like a cult classic. But anyone out there who knows Office Space might know that it was a red swing line stapler was prominent throughout the film, apparently. So,
well, there you go.
Another reason to go back and watch Office Space.
Well, I picked the stapler based on price and color. Okay. It finally came down to, I was like, I could spend $27, and then I'm going to be assured that it's going to be great.
Will you, though?
Well, kind of like I would expect it to be great at that price. But I was like, it should be great at a lesser price. And so I was like, and the other thing about the one that stapled through like a lot of pages required a different type of staple. And I wanted the standard staple because I have quite a few standard staples, and I don't want to get a stapler where I then have to search for a particular brand of staple that matches with that stapler. I want to be able to walk into a dollar store, into a hardware store, into a office supply store, or to just take it off a desk when I'm at somebody's office at work and take those staples and use it in my stapler.
So you just want to be a thief, essentially.
If my staple needs require me to do some, let's say shady business, I'm not going to suppress that urge.
Have you ever stolen office supplies?
Oh, yes.
So on the scale of like theft, let's say, does office supplies even count?
No.
I agree.
I have taken so many. So, Nidhi, this is great. So I used to work for a television station, right? And I had to do work on my bosses. And my boss was like, go through my Rolodex, find up this person's number, call them up, and make an appointment for an interview for some show, right? So I was like, okay. Going through his Rolodex. This is, now, I must say, I was still in university and college, and this was many years ago, but then I started to stumble. So, like, you stumble through people's names, and then all of a sudden I would stumble through really famous people's names. So I took out a pen and paper, and I copied.
No, you didn't.
It's
Marco.
total. Yes, totally. Well, one of them was one of my heroes.
Okay.
So it was the Prime Minister of Canada, former Prime Minister of Canada.
Oh my God, Marco.
It's so apropos that I should be mentioning this right now. Actually, this is something...
I actually don't think you should be mentioning this at all.
No, I'd be happy to mention this because it's like a confession from like 20 years ago or whatever.
Statute of limitations no longer.
I could care less. What are you going to do? Come after me for this? So I wrote down 2 names from my boss's Rolodex. Now, you work in an office setting. Do you think this is wrong that I did this?
Yes.
Great. So I wrote down Pierre Trudeau's
Oh my God,
home address
Marco.
in Montreal, right? And his son is our current Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. So his father was a hero of mine. I wrote down his information, and I wrote him a letter.
Okay, at least you didn't show up at his house.
No,
or
no, no.
something
I'm not a
crazy
stalker,
like
but I
that.
wrote a letter. I'm a thief, not a stalker, clearly. And I got a response. So I was
From him, or like a kind of
No.
generic response?
from him.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'll show it to you. I have it framed. You've probably walked by that photo of a framed letter that I got back from the former Prime Minister of Canada. So, the other famous person's information, you'll never be able to guess.
Oh, but I so want to.
Please feel free.
Is this like an actor?
No,
Oh.
it's the husband of a famous. It's the husband of a famous singer.
Husband of a famous
Yeah.
singer. Oh, I have no idea.
So this person's also the manager of this famous, or was the manager of this famous singer.
Oh, yeah. We'll spend the entire podcast with
Fair
me
enough.
guessing.
Okay, so Renee Angelil,
Oh
Celine
my God,
Dion's
you know it's not.
husband, who has since passed away. I had his cell phone number in my Rolodex.
No,
yeah,
Marco.
because I guess before she became really famous,
Yes.
she was on this
Yes.
television show or
Yeah.
whatnot, and or television came to this television station and whatnot. And so, because he was her manager, his number was in there. And at the time, I'm like, you never know, this might prove useful. So I had his personal cell phone number in my Rolodex. I could probably find it somewhere.
Did you ever call it?
No, I never called it because I never had reason to. But I
Right.
just thought, you never know when you need to get in touch with Celine Dion, it's good to have her now dead husband's phone number in your back pocket. So yeah, this is something that no one knows that I did this. So there you go.
Wow. Well, that was. So when I said, oh, I don't necessarily think office supplies are theft, I was thinking more along, I took a couple of Post-it notes or a pen. I don't know.
Listen.
This is another level, Marco.
When you start with do you remember those, they were like, when you punch a hole in paper and then the hole would start to rip, you'd have these little...
Yes, those little like round stickers.
Yeah, it starts with that, which they're probably no longer making them, but I had a ton of those. Paper clips, staples, Post-it notes, starts with little things like that,
gosh.
and then it leads to going through your boss's Rolodex and taking famous people's numbers.
This is quite the spectrum.
Oh,
I
listen.
was honestly just thinking about a pen, but you've outshone me on this.
Listen, yeah, that's about as
That's-
big a theft that I did, was personal information of famous people in my boss's Rolodex. But,
Well, he should. I mean, the lesson here is that he should have secured his Rolodex.
right. And he should have treated me better.
Oh, well, you didn't say that part
Well,
about it.
Listen, a happy employee doesn't take Celine Dion's husband's phone number from your Rolodex.
Right. Fair. But let's get back to this swing line because so what do you think? So you have the $10 version,
Yeah, this was like 11, let's say 11.25. I should.
and what did the $45 version look like? Or
It was massive, and it looked like something
like a
that
heavy duty one?
It looked like something that would staple a thick booklet. I think it would staple like 140 pages or something like that. So I got this one because I was like, you know what? I'm going to get the lower end model, lower end in the sense of price, and I'm going to see how this is and if I like it. And I like it.
Yeah,
Because I was kind of like, see how this goes, and then maybe I'll get another one that's a little bit more pricey.
I like the color. I like that it's
That's-
kind of like retro looking too. Like maybe that's their thing because when I look online, I see some other kind of cool swing line versions that are like bright orange, and even their mini staplers are really cute.
I didn't want to get a mini stapler. I saw them, yeah, and I was kind of like,
No.
I want a stapler. I want a proper stapler, and I
Fair
want one
enough.
that doesn't jam. So it hasn't jammed as of yet.
Good.
So I don't know if there's other brands, because then when I was there, I was looking for other brands of staplers, and they just had the
Swing line?
no, they had the swing line and
Like the Staples brand or whatever.
yeah, it was also the brand of the place that I was in.
Right.
And that was it. And I was kind of like, okay, so.
Huh. Wow.
And there you go. So I'll keep you.
Thank you, Swing Line.
I will keep you posted with. I mean, it's still a little early for me to give you my final judgment on this.
Okay. Well, we'll have to revisit this topic.
You know, like yeah, exactly. Let's revisit this. You know, when we get to episode 125.
Okay.
Because I think that'll be a good gauge where I can concretely say whether or not I endorse this
Stapler?
stapler.
Okay.
I will say I do endorse pilfering a bit of office supplies from your work office area.
We live in a culture obsessed with dieting, weight loss, and exercise. And that can make eating disorder behaviors easy to miss. But the reality is, eating disorders are serious mental illnesses that take a major toll on your health and your life. But recovery is possible. Eating disorders are more common than you might think. Chances are you know someone who is struggling with one. Or maybe you're struggling yourself. If you're concerned about an eating disorder in yourself or a loved one, I want to introduce you to Equip. Equip is a fully virtual, evidence-based eating disorder treatment program that helps patients achieve lasting recovery at home. Every Equip patient is matched with a multidisciplinary care team that includes a therapist, dietitian, medical provider, and mentors. And you get a personalized treatment plan that's tailored to your unique goals and challenges. Equip treats patients of all ages and all eating disorder diagnoses. It's covered by insurance, and there's no wait list. If you think that you or a loved one could be struggling with an eating disorder, don't wait to get help. Visit equip.health to learn more. That's equip.health.
Over 90 of the top 100 U.S. accounting firms trust Bill to simplify and secure bill pay. That's proven financial infrastructure built on over $1 trillion of secure payments. Visit Bill.com/proven for a special offer.
We need to keep kids safe online, but some special interests are sending policymakers in the wrong direction, pushing the so-called App Store Accountability Act, demanding government ID from all users just to download an app, replacing parents' judgment with government mandates. It doesn't even stand up in court. A better bipartisan bill, the Parents Over Platforms Act, would put parents in the driver's seat, empowering parents and businesses to keep kids safe without drowning all of us in red tape. Tell Congress to get it done right and put parents over platforms.
Paid for by ACT, the App Association.
Have you ever made photocopies at work for stuff that was personal?
I mean, yeah, but not like massive amounts. I don't know, I'm a pretty
conscientious.
Conservative.
No, I photocopied books that I needed. Listen.
Giving me a heart attack.
Well, I don't know if I photocopied books. I might be exaggerating, but I photocopied stuff. I will say this, though. For every sort of, say, gray area, illegal sort of theft I've done at the office, I've more than proved myself in other ways.
Sure. Fair enough. Yes.
I once put out a fire.
Oh.
That was taking place around a whole bunch of people I was working with. They all froze as they saw the fire start to... I know, it's all this confessions of things that have happened.
Why were there no emergency evacuation procedures, like fire, leave?
Well, it's a really good question. Like, when it happens, there's a moment of, oh my God, there's a fire.
Right.
And it happened during a show. So I was in a show.
Oh.
And all the performers were on stage, and we were in the middle of it. The person who was, let's say, reciting lines or performing in this case, had his back to the flames, and everyone just kind of looked and saw the fire grow. And so I just got up from the spot where...
Wait, was his back still to the flames as the fire's growing?
Yes, because he was performing. So his back wasn't on fire. It was about, let's say, 3 feet behind him on a little...
ledge or something?
Like a little ledge. There was a candle, and there was some plastic flowers. And the plastic, I believe it was the plastic flowers, started to...
Oh, no.
Were too close to the flame, so they started to ignite. But everything behind it was obviously a stage prop, so it could have all caught on fire, right?
And he didn't feel it getting warmer and warmer?
No, because it was the beginning of the fire, right?
Okay.
And he was he was in the middle of reciting his dramatic moment, like his monologue, right? And everybody, but there's people all around him, and they didn't know what to do because they could see the fire growing, but they sat in their spots where they were supposed to be.
Oh.
You know?
I understand.
And what I did was I just got up from where I was, right in the middle of him speaking. I picked up the flowers that were on fire, and I just batted them till they went out. And then I went back to my spot and sat down.
Wait, and did you do it in character?
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, wow.
But then I was kind of like, well, it's either I take this moment to interrupt the performance to ensure that the theater doesn't catch on fire.
Sure.
Or I allow it to catch on fire till the point where someone says fire and everybody gets out and then someone deals with it. So I just dealt with it.
You were the hero of the show, really.
I felt that way, but no one really sort of gave me the...
No.
I think
the accolades?
It happened... I think because it happened quick.
And you were so seamless about it.
And I was very determined and in control. So
Right.
It seemed like it didn't seem as big as it was or could have been.
Right. Or it seemed like some sort of joke that everyone was like, oh, this is meant to happen.
The audience didn't realize.
Right. So there you go. You did your job
They didn't
well.
realize, and to be honest with you, I think it was only the, let's say, 8 actors that were close to it that would have noticed how big the flames could have got.
I understand.
And would have been like, yeah, the whole place could have caught on fire.
Okay, so that makes a bit more sense. I thought there were just a bunch of people watching a fire and didn't know what to do.
No.
So,
No.
But if you're on stage, yeah, maybe.
But it's
there's a
interesting
weird-
because, you know, it's that moment that you question, what would I do in this case? Would it be flight
sure.
or fright? Flight or fight?
Yep.
Or fright, I guess. There you go. I've added
Yeah.
another one. Or a combination thereof. And you don't know until you're in a situation where you have to sort of deal with something that's going on. So I hopefully our listeners and we don't ever have to be put in a position like that, but it's just interesting to note.
I have kind of either or reactions depending on the situation.
Fair.
Like it's not one versus the other, but sometimes I'll definitely go into fight mode.
Right.
But if it's something like, I don't know, like a fear of heights or something like that, I'll definitely go into flight mode where I'm like, just get me out of this situation and I don't care.
I'm not a big fan of heights either.
No. But anyways, that's a whole other topic.
Sure. What are you good with? What are you like? What is something where it's like, I can really handle myself, whereas other people have issues with?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm really good at, I don't know, actually. That's a great question.
Yeah.
I haven't really thought about that. I'd have to be a little bit more introspective, but I'm really good at, like, doing things on my own. Like, I can go into a new city and kind of figure things out, whereas some people need constant support in that, or a lot more support, not constant support. But for me, like, I can land somewhere and then
just figure it out.
Yeah,
You're
figure
not
it out.
afraid to be like in a city you've never been in before, and
no, because I've done it so many times now that I know like what needs to happen. Okay, I need to do A, B, C, and D. I need to figure out where not to go.
Right.
I need to. There's just certain skills that I think you develop when you're in those type of situations that you can apply to any city.
What's the most difficult city you've ever been into with regards to navigating and being able to sort of like get a handle of things?
Oh, I think any city in India.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I find it like I would never be able to navigate that very well. Like everything from the roads to like things don't make sense in the same. It's kind of like an organized chaos.
Okay.
Or a disorganized chaos.
Sure.
I'm not sure. So I think it would be difficult for me to.
But you understand the language, like would you
minimally?
Right, but
Minimally. My Italian's probably better than my Hindi.
fair enough. But Tokyo was difficult.
See, I found Tokyo easy only because they're so organized. Like everything makes sense. That like,
I guess it was because I messed up with the train.
Oh, well, that can do it.
And I was kind of like, it shouldn't have been that hard. And I think part of it is because A, I was just daft that day.
Right.
B, not a lot is in English, which I don't have a problem with because I don't feel every country has to have everything written in every other language. So it's, the person who's the visitor who has to make that extra effort. I don't
Absolutely.
necessarily think the host nation or the people of that nation have to
Make the effort.
Have to make the effort, and if they do, it's really wonderful, is what I will say. So I blame myself. I found Paris the first time I was in Paris. It was not.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, I was just like, maybe it was because I was young, and maybe it was because I faced a bunch of challenges there, but it was interesting. It was like I also think it was a city I didn't expect it to be as challenging as it was. And that's where I realized my French wasn't as strong as I thought it was in my mind.
Oh, so was it a language thing that you found challenging, or the
It was just
people,
big. It was
or
really.
the...
It was.
Really?
It was big, and I'm talking about the subway. It was big.
I find that Paris
Listen.
small in comparison.
And I will say, this was the first time I was there. Now I go to Paris, and I'm like,
breeze.
Yeah, it's so funny. We sound so smug. Like, look
really
at us
do.
traveling, and
Yeah, I know.
how easy and hard these places are. But it's
These
just
privileged podcast hosts.
it's a lot of the travel that we've done has been for work
Yeah.
and for other things. So, like, please don't write in saying you guys are just elitist snobs. I am, but not necessarily when it comes to travel.
Only when you're stealing
Listen,
contact information.
I don't look at it as stealing. I look at it as an exchange of information that...
what information did they get on you, though?
They got so much from me. They got tons from me, so much of my work. I was a co-op student there before I got hired, so they got a lot of free work
Got
from me. When you do that. And companies really can teach their co-op students, or they can use them as office slaves. Well, let's just say they used me a little bit more as an office slave than helping my career, or helping to teach me.
It's funny because I interned in France a few years ago.
It always comes back to France.
Always comes back to France. And they actually pay their interns there.
Some companies here do that as well, and I think it's a great thing, because then you want to get value for the money you put in, and you want to instill more than just, oh, here comes the co-op student.
Right. Well, I think this was more like from a government, like they have to pay interns.
Oh, that's great. What did you do there?
I worked...
Are you able to say?
I worked at... Talk about how elitist this is going to sound.
Well,
I
here you
worked
go.
at a resort hotel.
Okay.
Yeah, it was super fun.
It's funny because when you talk about working in the tourism sector...
It sounds glamorous, but it's not.
And it's not, because I've done it too.
It's the worst.
It's you're not on vacation.
No.
In fact, you're trying to ensure that other people's vacations turn out well. And if you've ever been the person who's on vacation who's not having a good time, just think about how you talk to people who should be helping you. That's what you're constantly receiving.
Oh yeah, and it's like people, when they're on vacation, if their demands are not met, it's a bigger deal than if they weren't on vacation, right? Like every small thing becomes so huge, and I get it.
Listen,
to a certain point,
I've been that person,
right? Like, yeah, of course, it's like you want everything perfect. This is your vacation. You work hard. You want to play hard. You want to like enjoy. But there's some things, some people who, it's almost like they become these unreasonable beings.
Right.
It's like, you didn't staple it with the swing line. You stapled it with the other brand of stapler. Or, I mean, those kind of nuanced
Listen,
requests. Get me this fax within 5 minutes.
I had a couple that I would have to get chocolate peanut M&Ms for them every single day of their trip. And I was in southern Italy, where Italians would look at chocolate M&Ms and say, this is the worst chocolate ever. Why would you give them this when you could have an array of great European or Italian chocolate?
You don't question. You just do.
You just do. And I had to get it for these horrible, horrible, horrible people. And that's all I'll say.
Well, you know what? That sounds like karma, Marco, coming back to you for your theft of personal property. But we want to take this moment to once again say thank you to all our listeners out there. Definitely go on to the website and vote for us at the Canadian Comedy Awards.org.
.org, and it's awards, so plural.
plural. We'll put it in the bio of this episode as well so that people know where to go.
It's the last category that you would bring down on the
drop down.
Thank you. I was going to say the scroll down screen.
The Insomnia Project is produced by Drumcast Productions, and we're recording from Toronto, Canada today. So until the next time, we hope that you listen and sleep.